Hey guys, and welcome to another new video about Starbound. Now this video is going to be a sort of a discussion video about the stretch goal for the starter pets. Now this is the stretch goal for raising $1 million. Now there's been a lot of controversy about this stretch goal because a lot of people have been getting angry or upset about what it is. Now if you haven't seen the post, I'll leave a link in the description, but basically what the final stretch goal will final at this stage, if we reach $1 million, there could be something else, but it's starter pets. Now a lot of people are upset about this because after the two other stretch goals, which were the new race and the fossils, this doesn't seem to be as sort of intricate or as sort of, well, it's not a new feature, that's the thing. Having a new race, that's a new feature. Having fossils, that's a new aspect to the game. But pets, when you're already able to tame and capture creatures, doesn't seem like that much of a big thing for the $1 million mark. And in this video I'm going to sort of explain the two sides of the argument and sort of try and clarify things about stuff, because I know that especially on the pre-order page or the stretch goal there's 585 comments at the moment with people just arguing and saying it's rubbish, other people trying to defend that it's a good stretch goal. So yeah, I'm going to try and do that by breaking it down to different points and then expressing my opinion. So we'll get straight to that. Now I think it's important to look at the first two stretch goals first before we can actually discuss the third one. Now the first one was the new race, the Nova Kids, which again I'll leave the post in the description so you guys can read into it. And it's a new playable race, and that was for the $500,000 mark, which was sort of a real incentive to pre-order the game, to get friends to pre-order so that we could get this brand new race. And just as a note, the stretch goals you're not paying for the stretch goals, you're paying for the game, and these are things to sort of aid you in wanting to buy it. You know, they're an added thing that they'll add if you get to that mark. And a lot of people, I think, have got really sort of confused about that. They've thought, oh well, we're paying all this money to get a new race, we're paying all this money to get new features, and now we have to get $1 million to get pets. But that's not really how it is. It's how can I explain it? It'd be like if you pre-ordered Call of Duty and they said, you know, if we get, what was it, I don't know how much they get, like $10 million, we'll add like a new camo. You're not paying the money for the new camo. You'd be paying it, you know, for the game, and then if you happen to raise that much money, you'd be getting the new camo. It's sort of like that. But the fact that the sort of the bonus features for getting a certain amount of money, because it's an indie game, are quite good features in the game. As soon as there's one that isn't up to standard, I think people are getting really angry about that, because they feel as though they are paying for these features, which isn't what you're paying for. So the second stretch goal were fossils, and again these were like an added bonus sort of feature, like you can go out, collect fossils, you can maybe take the DNA from them, and it's just a nice little feature added to the game. And I think because that was another really good stretch goal, and people didn't think they'd really be able to top a new playable race, that, you know, it was a good one. People weren't disappointed by it. If you look at the comments, they're all really positive stuff. So then when they got past the $750,000 mark, I think they didn't really know what to add in, and you could tell that by the fact that they made a forum post saying we reached way further with donations than we thought we'd ever get. You know, we were struggling. We thought we wouldn't even get like $3,000 donated. So they've got to this ridiculous amount of money that mark where they are at the moment, and they just didn't know what else to add. So I think it got to the point where they got these two really good new features, and if they kept paying for new features, the $1 million mark would get hit really easily, but it would sort of set back the release date because they'd have to add in another new feature, and then people would then see the next stretch goal and they'd want something else, you know, and it would just sort of keep going, and then people would be paying for the stretch goals, and then maybe they feel a bit sort of led on if, you know, they're donating like a lot of money, buying multiple copies of the game, you know, just to get these in-game things. And like you can compare it to with the pre-ordering. I did a video on it talking about the different tiers of like packages you could get, and I got a couple of like negative comments on that, sort of suggesting that, you know, people who are going to pay a lot of money are going to do it regardless, you know, regardless whether they're going to get like a weapon in the game or a statue of themselves. And this is a bit like that, you know, if you're going to donate for the production, you're going to donate, you want them to make the game, you want them, you know, you want a copy of it, you want them to be able to do it as quickly as possible. So you're not actually paying, like with the packages, you're not paying necessarily for the added features you're getting in there. And that's something that people, I think, they got that concept with the pre-ordering packages, but they haven't really got it with the stretch goals. And I mean, it's got to the point now where it's really slowed down with people pre-ordering. I mean, the first however many number of backers, you know, they bought the game because they knew about it. They were active on the forums. I think someone who posted that there's 50,000 people registered on the forums, and when there's 35,000 backers, and that means that most of the people from the forum have bought the game, and now it's just people who haven't heard of the game buying it from, you know, their friends telling them about it. So it's going to really slow down. So eventually it will get to the $1 million stretch goal, but I think they knew it was going to slow down, so it's just sort of like an added thing at the end, you know, that won't take that long for them to add it in. It's something quite simple for them to do, rather than them waiting out a long period of time to get to this stretch goal of people, you know, trying to get money to get this new feature, and then them having to work on it, because that will all just add up and take more and more time, you know, and it will cut back at the release date. So a lot of people have been really angry about the stretch goal. They've felt, you know, it's a stupid one, and I mean, the pets that they're adding in there are just a cosmetic thing. They're not gonna fight for you. That's what mechanics in the game will do when you can tame and capture monsters, and which you'll be able to use for you. And these are starting pets. You know, you get them, they come around, like follow you around or whatever. But they are, again, just like a cosmetic thing, and they weren't gonna have them in anyway. You know, the fact that adding them in, if we get to the $1 million mark, it's not going to take anything away. I'm sure there'll be an option to, you know, not have them. And the people who have already bought the game and pre-ordered, they can't have any issue with stuff that other people are going to put their money towards. Like, you've already paid for the game. You haven't paid to, you know, to get this. You've already paid because you want to get a copy of the game. This wasn't in the game originally. When you got when you pre-ordered it, you know, maybe it was before they even added the stretch goals, or when there was the first one, and you thought, you know, I want to get the new race, or after the that, and you wanted to get the new fossils. But most people are commenting they've already bought their copy, so something added onto it that is probably going to be an optional thing. I don't see how you could be annoyed about that. I mean, you might think it's kind of a lame stretch goal. You know, they could have added something a lot better, but it's not exactly going to take away from the game. You're not you've probably, like I said, you've probably already bought the game. You're not then going to be disappointed about a free additional thing that they're going to add in for reaching, you know, a certain amount of money. Like, that seems ridiculous to me. I mean, they're the people creating the game. They can choose what they add into it and what they don't. And if you're going to get angry about additional content, it just, then, you know, why have you even bought the game, you know? Now, I know that this all sounds really sort of negative towards the people who don't like the stretch goal, but I mean, admittedly, when I first looked at it, compared to the last two, I think everyone has that doubt in their mind, or most people, that it's not at the same standard as the other two. But I mean, at the end of the day, it is just an additional thing that's added in. You're not paying any extra if you already bought it. If people are going to buy the game, they're going to buy it anyway, and it's just as an incentive to tell your friends about the game and to try and get more people, you know, to help them with the production of it. So if it sounds like I'm having a go at anyone, you know, people who don't like the stretch goal, I mean, because there are quite a few people, otherwise obviously there wouldn't be a need for this video. But I hope I've sort of, without attacking anyone in particular, I hope I've sort of explained why there isn't really that much of a need to get angry. I mean, even if you do think, oh, this is pretty bad, you know, I don't want these starter pets. I mean, we haven't even hit 1 million yet, so they might not even make it into it. But yeah, as I said, there's not that much need to get angry. And I mean, you don't need to necessarily express your opinions if you are really angry about it, because you had your chance when they made a forum post about it to express opinions, and a lot of people did. But at the end of the day, it's up to the developers. We can't really do anything about it. So yeah, I'm going to end this now. if you've got anything to respond to this, you know, be sure to leave a comment. I'll reply to as many as I can, you know, if I get comments. But thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see more content like this, more Starbound related videos, then please subscribe. As soon as the game comes out, I have pre-ordered the game, so I'll be playing the beta, and I'll be recording what I do. So if you guys want to see that, like I said, be sure to subscribe. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys.